With just 12 races left in the 2025 F1 season, it isn't long until we see Formula One's 11th team hit the grid. The Cadillac F1 team have been working hard in the background, preparing for their first ever season in the sport. A big part of the team is still missing though, their drivers. As a brand new team, they aren't looking to compete for championships, and they probably won't be podium contenders. What they need is stability and solidity, two drivers who will help them grow, not cast doubts over how the car is working. After months of searching, Cadillac has found the drivers they need to make their team a success, and today I'll check them out, so don't go anywhere. A number of names have been floated for the Cadillac F1 team's first ever driver pairing. There has been obvious interest in them having an American driver, whether that's a return of Logan Sargent or a rookie to F1 like Colton Herta, Alex Palou or Pato O'Ward. However, the team has said a number of times that they aren't just going to hire an American driver for the sake of having an American driver. It's a sensible decision from Cadillac. For a first ever season in Formula One, they can't hire vanity drivers for the sake of brand image. What they need is reliability, consistency, and expert feedback. If they took a gamble on a rookie driver, it would add uncertainty into their data and feedback. With a rookie driver, you never quite know how they're going to perform. You don't know if they're the problem or if it's the car. They also haven't got the miles in an F1 car to be able to accurately describe what they're feeling and suggest how the car's shortcomings could be improved. What you want is a known entity in your car, someone you know can perform and give feedback on what they're feeling. The drivers don't have to be world champions or legends of the sport, you just need to know they can actually be competitive in Formula One. There are a number of names around the sport at the moment who could fill that role. With 6 rookie drivers joining the grid in 2025, there are a lot of experienced hands who lost their places and could do a job at Cadillac. Names such as Sergio Perez, Valtteri Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen have all been discussed. Last week though, Cadillac F1 team boss Graham Loden confirmed that one of those will definitely not be driving for them. Speaking to Jake Humphrey on the High Performance podcast, Loden was asked about Daniel Ricciardo and whether the very popular Australian could play a part in the team's future. Loden replied by saying, "Yeah, actually, I think he's publicly said that he's not interested in Formula One." Humphrey asked Loden if the team principal, nevertheless, thought it might be a good idea to try changing Ricciardo's mind, but Loden disagreed. "If I need to convince someone, then it's the wrong person," he explained. "You never need to convince a Formula One driver to jump in the car. I've got no problem, everyone can make their own minds up." Sadly for Ricciardo fans, which I think we all are a little bit, his time in Formula One is now over. Nonetheless, there is another Australian, or Australian-esque driver, that Cadillac seems all but guaranteed to sign. With a brand new engine and aerodynamic regulations, the start of next season is going to be fascinating as we see the competitive order reshuffled and upgrades potentially making a massive impact as different teams take different development directions. All it takes is for one innovation to be found by a manufacturer to give them the head start they need to dominate the Constructors' Championship. Similarly to Brawn in 2009 or Mercedes in 2014. Valtteri Bottas could be the driver to benefit from something that Cadillac have found which the rest of the grid haven't. Cadillac's senior management, including team principal Graham Loden and Dan Tauris, head of the TWG Group, attended the British Grand Prix with a packed schedule of meetings with the representatives for all the drivers on their shortlist. The goal for the team was to sign a first driver within a few weeks, while talks for the second could extend into September. F1's summer break is a time when contracts for the following season are normally tied up, and last week a number of reports started to appear after the British Grand Prix that Valtteri Bottas had all but signed a contract with Cadillac for next year. Autosport Web, Japan's leading motorsport outlet, said last week that the terms of the contract have now been agreed, presumably at that meeting at Silverstone, but nothing has been officially signed yet. This isn't uncommon in Formula One. There's a lot of work to be done by lawyers behind the scenes as they check terms and ensure everyone is happy. There is also media work that needs to be done so that when the contract is announced, the team has plenty of pictures and videos used so they can announce the move. It has been no secret that Bottas is keen to work with the American outfit. He posted a teasing video on his social media feed a few weeks ago in which he came across a Cadillac SUV on the street. "What a nice seat," he says as he places his hand on the driver's seat, then adds, "I see there are 2 seats. Both seem free. A voice off camera invites him to try sitting down, but Bottas replies, "Not yet." Bottas is said to be desperate to start working in Cadillac's simulator as soon as possible to help with the development of the car. If he signs a contract quickly enough, he could still have a huge say in the work being done behind the scenes on the car that will appear at the 2026 preseason tests and their first race at the Australian Grand Prix. Of course, Bottas will need a teammate. This is where the conversation about what Cadillac wants becomes important. Do they play it safe and go for two experienced drivers, or will they take the gamble on someone less proven or even an American rookie? It seems like the choice is pretty simple for Cadillac, and they've actually already made it. Fortunately for Cadillac, there is an option which fulfills their desire for an American driver and gives some experience. But before I talk about that, if you're enjoying the video and want to catch more news and analysis from the current F1 season, or a deep dive into what's happening in F1 at the moment, like our video on the future of Red Bull now Horner is gone, then make sure to press the like button and subscribe to F1 Reverse. Thanks a lot. Sergio Perez's stock has risen significantly over the past 6 months. Few thought he was entirely to blame for his decline in form at Red Bull Racing, but the utter collapse of the team and their abject failure to provide a drivable car for anyone other than Max Verstappen has proven that everything Perez said about the team was true. He called out Red Bull for making mistakes in their development, and the evidence is now impossible to ignore. With Cadillac likely to want experience over unproven talent, Perez seems like an obvious choice. Former Red Bull sporting director Jonathan Wheatley, a man who knows what happened with Perez at Red Bull better than most, recently revealed that he never doubted that Perez still had something to give in Formula 1. Firstly, I really enjoyed working with Checo. He's a great personality, great attitude to life, full stop. I have no doubt about his pace and his speed. It's been natural since the beginning. He put in some tremendous drives at my former team, and I don't think it's much of a barrier that he's had a bit of time off between driving a Formula 1 car, because when you know how to do that, you know how to do it. Wheatley's comments reflect what many people believe about Perez. He is still a fantastic choice for any midfield team, and for Cadillac, he makes perfect sense. No, he isn't from the United States of America, but if you've watched any US-based F1 race in recent years, you'll know just how much support he has in that country. Miami in particular is always packed out with Perez fans. As well as being a North American, Perez is also a big money signing for Cadillac. Carlos Slim is the very rich backer of Perez, and his telecom company will no doubt pay Cadillac tens of millions a season as a sponsor if Perez is in the car. Over the last 7 months, Perez's new management team has been in ongoing talks with a number of teams, with Cadillac emerging as the favorite to secure the Mexican signature. Max Verstappen has also backed a return for Perez at the British Grand Prix. Checo has always been very strong, Verstappen said. Of course, he had some difficult moments with us, but as long as he has the motivation to race, I think he's a very good choice, especially for a new team. If you look at his performances at Force India and Racing Point, you'll see that he always scored good points there. The move makes sense for so many reasons. He is a good driver for Cadillac in terms of his experience and his pace. It is a great move from a commercial point of view, and Perez's backers would also love to have their name associated with a team that is bound to be popular in the Americas. Cadillac will be announcing their drivers imminently, and everything is pointing toward them being Bottas and Perez. Are you excited to see Perez and Bottas back in Formula 1? Is there anyone you would rather they would have signed? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and until next time, drive safe and bye for now.